Hi there, welcome back to my channel, and hi, welcome if you're new. I'm Kay and I'm a lover of all things homemaking. I'm on a mission to get back to a much slower, much more intentional, minimalist life. I'm trying to reduce toxic load in my house, for myself, for my pets, and just trying to get back to a version of myself that I once was. I lost along the way, but I'm feeling so called back to. I used to do monthly favourites videos every single month when I first started this channel 5 years ago, and I love looking back at those and seeing all the different things that I was using, and I know so many of you find them so helpful to find new products, new inspiration, and I thought what better time than this transitional phase of my life where I'm really trying to be more intentional with my purchasing, trying to buy more ethically, just trying to source things that are more natural and good for the environment and good for our bodies as well than now. So we are back to it. It's back by popular demand. So many of you want to see these and I've got so much to share. I am trying not to fall into the consumerist trap of buying lots of eco-friendly alternatives, but I also think that sometimes there is space for it, and so where there is space I want to be able to share things that I'm feeling inspired by and that I'm really enjoying too. So I hope you've grabbed yourself a nice cup of coffee. I've got mine here, which I am bound to let go cold because I always do. And let's crack on, shall we? I've got so much to share today. So the first thing is an old school favourite of mine that I just don't know why I stopped using. Actually saying that I do. I think I stopped using it because I started wearing makeup again and I was really struggling to clean my face properly with the natural alternatives that I used to use, and so I just kind of slowly but surely trickled back into using conventional products, and it's an expensive thing to do, and actually this is fantastic. So this is rosehip oil and I could not recommend it enough. Dom has even started using it. He has used coconut oil for years. He always, he never used any skincare. And then when he was a teenager, started using, all the normal conventional stuff. And it just didn't agree with him at all. Then when I went on my mission to live in a more natural life, we found coconut oil and he really loved it for his skin. It never worked for mine. It's actually comedogenic, I think that's the word, which means it breaks me out so bad. So I started using jojoba oil originally. Then I started using rosehip oil. Best swap I've ever made, and the best swap I've ever made back too. I still wear makeup. I'm using my normal Mist cleanser at the minute, but I'm using this moisturiser and I've had no issues. My skin has never felt so happy, so content. It's not dry. I don't need to use this every day. It just, I don't know, there's something about it, just soaks it up. It's fantastic, and you can see with the colour of it like how good it must be for your skin. Fantastic. Highly recommend if you struggle with your skin, or if your skin is feeling more dry these days. I think that this is such a cost-effective way compared to the moisturisers I have previously used. Next up, I've got a swap. So I had one of these hair towels for a long time. As you guys know, we struggle a little bit with damp in this house, and I accidentally left it on the floor and it got mouldy. It got pink mould on it, and I tried to wash it and it was just stained, and as well the elastic had gone on it, and I thought, no, it's time to upgrade. So I got this one. I can't remember where, maybe it was from Amazon originally, which is called, oh no it's not, it was from Look Fantastic. The Kit I don't know if that's how you say it. And it's just a natural organic bamboo, I believe, microfiber towel for your hair, which is brilliant. It saves you spending ages and ages drying your hair. I just pop this on when I get out of the shower. It does such a good job, and it just feels really easy as well, and it's just got a little wooden button as well. Really like that swap. I think it's been, one of those staples I've had in my life for years, and I'm just really happy to have been able to repurchase in a conscious way as well. Next up, I've got a few things from the Ramble store, which if any of you guys watch Athena Malor, I think that's how you say her name, she, I think actually it's Mella, Athena Mella? She has her own shop anyway, and it's got lots of amazing beautiful pieces, and I really want to support her, so I've bought some bits, and they're all from independent shops inside of her shop. So where I can, I will leave the links to those shops as well as Athena's shop, because I think it's important to support the smaller brands too. But this amazing, beautiful, as you guys know, I've been liking colour recently. I got this gorgeous headband and I just love the colour of it. So it literally just goes over your head. Obviously this isn't the vibe that I would go for. I would have my coat and my scarf on. I love it so much. I love it so much. So it's just a headband for when I'm going on my winter walks, and I got this one as well, which is actually much thicker and this is ethically made as well. And this one, I just love it so much. It's so beautiful, keeps my ears so warm, and I love it so much. We're going snowboarding / skiing in the new year, and these are going to be perfect for days when I don't want to be too hot, because I find hats sometimes they just kind of insulate and they just make you too hot, especially when you're hiking or doing anything that's exerting energy like skiing. So yeah, I really love those and recommend them so much. And they're made from wool as well, and it's the softest wool. It's beautiful. Next up, I've got a calendar. I was going to share this in my January favourites, and then I thought by January you might have all bought calendars already. I just saw this and I really liked it. As you all know, I am no gardener, but I do like to be in the garden, and I'm trying really hard this year to figure it out. So I got this one that's called Growing Through the Seasons, a vegetable, fruit and flower calendar, and it's just got these most beautiful, I did a very good job here. It's got beautiful pictures on every single page, and as well as that it's got little nuggets of information, so I'll show you guys up close. So what to prepare, what to harvest, what's in season, and that month as well. And then I've just realised at the back there is actually a growing calendar, which is super helpful if you are trying to get on your merry way with gardening too. I think that's brilliant. So it tells you like when you can sow things, and when to transplant things too. So I really like that, and I need to have a little sit down and a read through so I can get on top of things this year. I really want to grow sunflowers again this year, and I want to grow my own flowers too, like dahlias and just more beautiful flowers that I can then cut and bring inside rather than buying from the supermarket. The last thing from her shop was this mug, which if you watch my vlogs closely you'll know I actually ordered a different colour, and this is the colour that came, and I love it so much. It's so beautiful, and again it's just by a potter. I don't actually know what the name of the potter is. The initials are LF, so I will leave her shop down below as well, but it's just so beautiful. I love it so much. It's the perfect tea mug and I just can't get enough of it. And then carrying on the theme of mugs, I've got a mug here which I've had for a very long time, maybe like a year. This one is from Under the Willow Pottery. It says breathe on the bottom, and it's one of my favourites. I actually bought this for Dom and I've been using it more and more recently. I had a very neutral one which smashed. I think it's like I'm jinxed at the minute. Like I say something like I don't like colour, and then everything in my life that's neutral just destroys itself. Anyway, it smashed, and the thing that I love about this potter in particular is you can send smashed pots back and she will remake them into something new, which I think is beautiful, and it just, it's just everything I love in the world. The thing of like buying something beautiful, being able to use it for a long time, and then when the day comes that it inevitably breaks, because I mean, let's be honest, some mugs are very lucky and some mugs are very unlucky. We've smashed 3 glasses in this house between me and the cats in the last 2 weeks, so we're not on a good track record, so I may as well put this down before I smash this one too. But I love the fact I could send it back and she could upcycle it into something new rather than it going to waste, and I think that is so beautiful, so I'll leave her links down below too. Something a little bit random is this Neom body butter. I've used this for years on and off and I just love it so much. It's got magnesium in, it smells really calming, so it's got lavender, sweet basil and jasmine, made from 100% essential oils. It's just lovely, it feels really luxurious, and I really am trying to focus on minerals recently, and magnesium is a super important one if you are an anxious person like I am, or if you just don't sleep too well. It really helps me to get a deep sleep, and I love the ritual of popping this on a night time, so yeah, love this so much. Next up we've got an OG, we've got beeswax wraps. I had these for so long time ago, but with travelling, living in a van, they got a bit disgusting. You have to look after them properly and I just didn't do, so they kind of got ruined, but I am trying again. And I bought these from an Etsy seller, which is so nice to support smaller businesses, and actually most of the things I've shared in today's video are from smaller businesses. It came with lots of information of how to look after them properly, so I need this stapling to my head, but they seem simple enough, and I bought these purely because every day Dom takes sandwiches to work and I put them in a plastic bag, and it really bugs me every day. And I just needed a better solution, and these are perfect. So I've got actually a bigger one, which I wrap Dom's sandwich in every single day. He's loving it, he's getting on with it so well. I can wipe it clean when he comes home and we can wrap it again the next day. There is little to no waste, and that makes me very happy. And I can use these for my vegetables as well. I've yet to actually start using these, but I've got all different sizes and I think that they are fab, so highly recommend. And apparently you can make these by yourself as well, which maybe I will venture in the future, but for now I'm just trying to keep things simple, make simple, easy swaps that feel like they're going to be sustainable for me. Next up, quite random here, but I have this book which is all about fertility. We aren't trying for a baby at the moment, but it's part of our future and it's very important to me. Something I've been looking into a lot is conscious conception. We've waited a long time to have a baby and I just want to try to be the best version of myself that I can possibly be for our future children. This is Editing K here to say I got very excited while I was talking about this, and I know that pregnancy and conception can be quite a touchy subject for a lot of women in the world. It's a very sad reality and I don't want to blitz over that and just pretend everything's amazing and like, you know, we might not come into any issues, because we may well do. I'm just feeling very excited and very inspired by the journey and just wanting to support my body in whatever way that I can, so that I just feel like I'm in the best place that I can be. And then if we do come into any struggles, then we can kind of figure out where to go from there. But yeah, I just wanted to include this because I really wanted to say it and I just got so in the moment that I completely forgot. So yes, and this book is amazing. I read this in 2 sittings and it's a pretty hefty book, let's be honest. I just devoured it. I loved it so much. There's a massive portion at the back that is just recipes and just so many beautiful, nourishing dishes. You might have noticed recently I've had quite a lot of diet changes. I'm just really trying to focus on nutrition and nurture myself from the inside out so that I feel good and I feel healthy, as opposed to just being skinny. I want to be fertile, I want to be thriving, and I think that at this phase in my life, you know, in my late 20s, it's the perfect time to start trying to focus on my hormone health and just being the best, most enhanced version of myself. But I highly recommend this for any of you out there who are not even trying for children, you know, just wanting to look after your rhythms, your life. It is a good book if you are trying for a baby or if you already have children, but I can't get enough of it. It's absolutely beautiful and it's just written in such a lovely way too. She does have an Instagram account and I will leave that down below as well, but it was just nice to feel like there was someone else in the world who was feeling the same things as I am feeling currently, and just the emphasis on looking after yourself, because it takes 3 months for an egg to fully develop and everything that we do in that time impacts that egg, and it just feels so nice to be able to be intentional about such an important part of my life. And no shade if, you know, any of you watching this didn't have any of this information. We do the best with what we've got in the given time, and I've just been so enjoying research and absorbing things like a sponge at the moment, so I'm just trying to see where it takes me, but highly, highly, highly recommend. Then the last thing I've got here is something quite special to me. It is this gorgeous crochet blanket that my mum made me when we moved into this house. I popped it in our puff, that's what we call it. I don't know if you guys in America and places call it a futon. It went in there, I got it out when I was cold, but it never had pride of place in the house. And the other day I went in there for some chocolates and I saw it and I thought, why is this not out in my house? And I just can't get enough of it. I love it so much. And it's just the exact thing that I need in this time in my life, where I just wanted to bring more colour and to just not care, and it just is so nice. And the cats love it too. And I'm all for homemade things, handmade things, so good shout out to my mum here because it's beautiful and she did such a good job. She is so talented and I just love the colours. The last things I like to share are non-physical things, because I am trying to aim towards a less cluttered life too, and so I appreciate not everybody wants to bring new things into their lives. So I've actually got a song and a playlist that I want to share with you guys today. So the podcast is the Freely Rooted Podcast. You can find it on Spotify, it's on Apple Podcasts as well. and it's brilliant. It's so good, and it kind of ties into the Awakening Fertility book. It's all about hormone health, thriving and nourishing your body from the inside out, and trying to stop, you know, negative things that can negatively impact women's health. So things like intermittent fasting, fatty diets, all those things, and just really focusing in on nutrition and just building yourself up to be the best version of yourself. So there are so many podcasts on there that I could recommend, but start from the beginning, work your way through if it's something that you're interested in. There are also podcasts about parenting, intentional parenting, which I personally love. I love learning about things like that. I always have, and I always will be fascinated in pregnancy, motherhood, and all of those things, you know, parenting. I always find them so interesting, but there are some brilliant ones. She also did one with Farmhouse on Boone, who I love, Lisa. So yeah, definitely recommend that. Then the last thing is a song, and it is I Believe by Ziggy Alberts. I love Ziggy Alberts. He feels so comforting to me because I think he's Australian. I found him when I was living in Australia, and every time I listen to music by him or Vance Joy, it just teleports me back to this carefree time in my life where I was just this hippie girl, just living this very easygoing, happy life. And not that my life's not happy now, it's just completely different. I've got so much more responsibility these days, but when I listen to songs like that, it makes me breathe a sigh of relief and just teleport back to that time and just that mindset too, and I just love it. And I found this song when I was going through quite a tricky phase in my life a few months ago, where I was having this turbulent time with changes I was going through and really uprooting my life and feeling quite judgmental of myself and just feeling really you know. And I think the lyric is something like, I believe that everything is going to be all right. And I just needed that. I needed that mantra at that time in my life. And if you've watched these monthly favourites videos before, you'll know I thoroughly believe in a mantra, and I thoroughly believe that the songs we listen to make a massive impact on us unconsciously, in our subconscious. You know, they're lyrics that repeat themselves in our heads all day long, and so if they're positive, you know, it reinforces a positive life and a positive mindset. So songs like that are fantastic for it, and I just love it so much. So yeah, that is my monthly favourites for this month. I really hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, just let me know down below, and I would also love to know what you've been enjoying this month. Are you on a journey similar to me? Are there any swaps that you've made? There are so many more things that I could share, but I didn't want to overwhelm anyone or myself, so I've saved some for next month. So we'll carry on with this monthly favourites series as I go forward and make different swaps and changes in my life, but feeling really good, really positive, and I hope that you've all enjoyed this. So thank you so much for watching. If you want to watch my other monthly favourites videos, I'll leave them linked down below. But that is it from me today. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you all again in my next video. Bye.